Yeah, we live on YouTube. Yes, sir. Okay, we live on the Alright, we live on the Facebook and the YouTube. Right, but let's make sure just pull out. Pull out. Okay. Not this time and this, that.
Yeah, 1 West 125th Street at New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. All right, we feature the so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Indians, that we are the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. And today is our Lashawan Qadash, or the holy tongue. All right, that's in the Hebrew. All right, I just want to say to Wada again to Officer Hazahab for holding on the Trinidad and Tobago leg of the class for the past couple of weeks. I understand, and he is doing an excellent job as always. I understand, a great teacher of the Hebrew. And I just want to say to Wada for holding that down for the past couple of weeks. So tonight, we're going to just continue to dive into a few areas. So tonight, what we're going to get into is body parts. And it's something's critical. Again, Hebrew is a language that we continue to learn. It's our heritage, it's our culture. So what we have to understand is that just as any other language, we have to be able to take these things piece by piece. And just as how you would have, a child, you teach them their body parts. They will say, okay, hand, foot, leg, eyes, stuff like that. So all these are stuff that is part of our language, part of our culture. But again, because of slavery, because of our oppression, these things, we have lost our native language and our native customs. Back here. So today we're just going to try and get into it. Right, so as with anything else, let us start the basics. We have your head, all right, so we start with head, face, and let's say hair. Right. So these are the uppermost parts of the body. The head, right? Which is encompass basically everything, hair, and then face. In the Hebrew, you get each one of them. You gotta understand how each part is pronounced. So we have head, and head in the Hebrew is pronounced ra'ash. Right? So it's ra'ash. Ra'ash. That is head in Hebrew. And remember, Hebrew is written from right to left, whilst English is written from, or most other languages are written from left to right. So again, going to the basics, we have that is Ra, Ha, Sha. So it's Ra'ash. Ra'ash. And that is the body part, which we call the head. So now here, since I get this here. And some of these words are also, part of the list of, the 100 most common words in Hebrew, right? So that's head. It's pronounced Ra'ash. I'll give you all a few minutes just to be able to write it down. So get this. As you know, there's a famous in this rhyme, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Basically, going through some of it. For the kids, it will be easy for the kids to understand. So if we can see. Right, so I hope you're seeing good on YouTube and on Facebook. Right. So we continue again. So we have this is Ra'ash. That's head. Yeah, that's make it a little darker. Yeah, easier to just see on the YouTube. So let's try to make this darker. Marker. So we go ahead. Head, face, head. Again, we just go through some, not all. Let's pull up this up. So you all see how it's important for us to understand and know our language. Our language and is paramount for any civilization to function. So if you don't have a complete language, it'll be difficult for you to survive. Every major society has a well-established language. So we have head, which is Ra'ash, Ra'ash, Ra'asha, but it's pronounced Ra'ash because of the connector here. Now we have face. So face, simply, hand, right? That is face in Hebrew. So then you have a local slang where they say, let me see your face. Let me see your face in basically, like you're telling the person, I want to see you in person. Or it can mean, I really want to see your face, right? So that different slang, different lingo that we just use. As you know how we speak in most times a very direct language. In a very direct way. That is why most times, other nations find it difficult sometimes to understand what we are saying. And it's because of how we speak. And this is because it's something natural to us. So palm, face in Hebrew, and writing it in the Hebrew script. Not just that, we also want to get it. What I should do, I should write it both the ancient and the Assyrian. So this is what I will do. So let's make some adjustments. All right, in both. So that's the ancient, and we're going to write it in the Assyrian. Right, so that is both the ancient Hebrew and the Assyrian. Now, face is pan in the Hebrew, and it's simple. So it's pa, na. Pa, for the connector joins it, and it's one in pronunciation, which is pronounced tan, right? And in the Assyrian, right, so different color. So now in the Assyrian, if it's used at the beginning of a word or in the middle, this is the character that is used. Now, if pa ends up in the end of a word, it's written slightly different. It's written like this. Understand? So there's variations of pa, and there's about 5 characters that have those variations, right? Which is the ka, the sa, so like Slovakia. It has the pa, the ra, the za. No, that's the ipa, right? So it's ka, ma, na, pa. It's like a sideways M. I'm gonna use this. We have that context, right? So you have this would be Assyrian if it was at the beginning, but because it's at the end, we have this is the character that is used, right? Basically. Okay. So that's the character that's been used. If it's supposed to be used at the end. And in this case, it is going to be used in the end. So it's going to put it in. So we have the pa and the na. So it's not pan na, it's pan. So that's face, pronounced pan in the ancient Hebrew. From there we will move on and go to other character we have here, which is the hair. So Ra'ash, head, pan, face. Now we have hair. So you have hair. So it's sha'ir. So it is here. Yes, it looks familiar. Make this a little smaller. So here is pronounced Sha'ai. Sha'ai. So I'm going to write it in the ancient Hebrew, say Sha. I. And then Ra. And in the Assyrian, so we have the Sha, and we have I, and then again we have the Ra. Now, remember the rule that we applied a bit earlier on, it doesn't apply to this. So it only applies to the Ka, the Ma, the Na, the Pa, and it is Za. So we have these first three words, which is head, Ra'ash, which is pronounced Ra'ash, face, which is pronounced Pan, Pa, Na, or Pan, because of the connector, and we have He, is Sha'ai, which means Sha, the I and the Ra is connected. Sha'ai. So that is He. So those are the first three characters. So I'll give you a few minutes for those who probably already jotted down. I'll just give you a minute to take that down. As soon as it's done, right, so we have those three. So we're going to move into some other parts. So what we're going to move on to, right, so we have the word hand, the word neck, my word shoulder. So we go those trinum. So this one, So now we have hand. How do we say hand now? In the Hebrew, it's yad. It's like a make it earlier. Let me just jot down this first. Right, so we have a few more parts here, which are musical. We have a hand. So to pronounce hand in Hebrew, it's yad. Right? To pronounce yad in the Hebrew script, it's yah. And da. Connector is pronounced yad. So I can make this a little more pristine. And to write as a war. So it has za, war. Da. So that's it. So I think these two different colors so you'll be able to see it properly. Should be able to see it. So that's it. That's neck in both the ancient. So okay. Yes, it's good. Yeah, come. All right, this one. Okay. Yeah, But I know sweat. Because it was kind of last minute, so don't worry yourself. Kind of come. Kind of come. So I go to them quick. How we about after? Kind of come. Yeah, sure. Right, so let's jump right back in. So you have Tazawar, which is the neck. Tazawar. Tazawar. Let me connect here again, showing the separation in terms of what is being connected, what is not being connected. All right, so we're gonna run back through. This is the other one, which is the shoulder. Right now, there are two variations of the shoulder. So what I will do, I'll leave it on. So you have the shoulder, which is pronounced shakam. Right? Shakam is the shoulder. Now, and in the Hebrew, it's Sha Ka Ma. In this case, not Shakama, it's Shakam. Again, the connectors. Like, share, and subscribe to all our pages, I.S.U.P.K.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. All right. We have classes basically every day for the week. All right, except, well, for the locals class, for I.S.U.P.K worldwide, we have classes every single day. We have, starting from Sunday, we have for the Trinidad camp, we have Officer Galawan. He's our camp leader. He does the Sunday night scripture breakdown, right? And other brothers hold on that class as well at times. So you have Officer Galawan for Sunday. We have Monday nights, we have Officer Maka Kobal with the history. Tuesday nights, we have Officer Sawap Yala. He does the Brotherhood class. On Wednesdays, we have the law class, which is done by Officer Matwayak. On Thursday, right, we have the general scripture breakdown with commanding Salake with General Mahaiman. Right, he does the scripture breakdown on Thursdays. On Fridays, we have the Lashawan Qadash, what I'm doing here right now. I'm Officer Yakad. On Saturdays, we also have our Sabbath service, all right, as well. And also, which I need to mention, which is the Monday, right? Every Monday night, we have Command YAHANNA on the grill. So that's Monday nights at 9 p.m. local time. Again, check on all our social media hangouts, which is Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Like and subscribe, and you get all the latest of what's happening in and around the world, in the US, in the UK, no matter what it is in the world. Even down here in Trinidad, don't see what's going on here. There's a lot of stuff happening with pestilences, diseases, war, you name it. You understand? We're seeing the itching of different types of war, whether it be physical war, whether it be, we have race wars or race riots. You understand? We just had local elections here in Trinidad and Tobago, and it was one of the grimiest in terms of, we're seeing people jumping out of stuff. All these nations coming out, and then you're seeing what they think about so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? And it's about time for we to separate from these nations. And because we think, it's kumbaya and everybody, all of we together as one, Jahaji Bai, all these things is Christianity that comes in our mind and makes us move away from who we are. And that's what really happens. It destroys us as a people, whilst the other nations hold on to their language, their customs, their heritage. They force their opinions and their culture on us and expect us to just accept it. And when we try to push and promote our culture, it's frowned upon. They don't like our music, they don't like our culture, they don't like our style, our language. Only when there's some physical or some financial benefit to these other nations, that is when you see the capitalizing on our culture, our music, and everything else that makes Israel, Israel. So without that now, they basically use us for whatever gain they have. And if they don't have a gain, what is it? They don't have a key anyway. Understand? And they use us conveniently. And as we can see in this election that gone, we see the real underbelly, the nasty underbelly, and the plain, blatant racism that has been happening in our country. And not just here, but all over the world, against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So it's time for we to separate and to move away from these nations. Move away and stop following their customs, stop following all their traits, all these hedonistic traits that they have. Right, so let us jump back here. So the last thing we were doing here was the shoulder. So we have, right, so we have the ma, so like the sha, shakam, shakam. So we have the sha, then we have the ka. Ka is written as, right, so the sha, the ka, and then we have the ma. And in this case, the ma, oh, I think I wrote the wrong character. Yeah. So the ma, let's make that correction. Shakam. That's the correction. Character there. So again, ma is one of the 5 characters that have 2 different variations in the Assyrian. One that could be used at the beginning of a word, and one that will be used at the end of the word. Right? So the one that we use at the end of the word, or in the beginning, I will show you first. In the Assyrian for ma is this character. Alright? This character, that is the one you would use at the beginning, but this is the one we will use for here. In this case, because it's used at the end. So this one here is used if the ma was at the beginning, but in this case, the ma is at the end, so we use this character. Just to get the proper understanding of it. So, take this one. Now remember I told you there was a variation of the shoulder. Now, you have the shoulder, and then there's something attached to your shoulder, or to your shoulder. And we call that, the shoulder blade. Right? So to say shoulder blade is, so shakam, so ma, shakam. And would be shoulder blade. So in fact, let me write it here. Right, I'll try so I'll get some space. Or same thing I'm writing. It says Ma Shakam. So hope you are able to see it properly. Let me check. All right, good. So let's just run through quickly again. We have hand, which is yad. Yada, we have ancient, and we have the Assyrian bottom. Yad, neck, right? We have, which is Tazawar. Neck, Tazawar. Tazawar, in again ancient and Assyrian. Ancient Assyrian. Shoulder, which is this top part here, is pronounced Shakam. Right, so we have Shakam, which is shoulder, and then we have this last part here, or the other variation, which is shoulder blade. That is the part or the portion to your shoulder on your back, which is shoulder blade, and that's pronounced Ma Shakam. Ma Shakam. So those are the variations here for now. So we have one more to run through again. So I hope you all have this done already. So you have this other one here. So skin in ancient Hebrew is I.W.O.K. that is skin. So you can pull up the which is the eyes and hair. Let's deal with one. So all time you have your blue letter Bible app. Right, so Hebrew word for eyes or eye is pronounced ayin. So that here, so that's one here. No? Good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. One second. Could you call me back in approximately 1 hour? I will sign up. I appreciate that. Thanks. Right, so we was getting on to so it's pronounced ayan. So we have a yan. That's pronounced ayan, which is eyes. Should put it down a little lower. Right, so it was out of the blue letter. All right, so we put it in the ancient. the I, Ya, and the Na. And the Assyrian. Right, another color, so we need to see it. Again, the character for the now, because it's used at the end, you have this. If it was not, then in the Assyrian, character would use if the now was at the beginning or somewhere in the middle, but because it's at the end, this is the one we'll be using. So on this the last one here we'll be using, we're going to the blue letter again. Which is the air. So this is the blue letter up. So you need to see it. It's blue letter Bible up. So here we have a good idea of all the ancient Hebrew and the Assyrian characters, but this basically gives you a breakdown. So you'll be able to see if let's say a particular word like you have air, you get the word, but in this case you have it in the Assyrian, and then you'll get a breakdown of what the word could be possibly used for and the context. All right, so we've seen it here, Facebook and YouTube. See what the word is used for. So it's, as in this case we have is H24. And the word air can be used in the aspect of agriculture or like an ear of corn. And then you have the human hair. So I'm going back here now just to pull it up. All right, so in this case we're using Exodus. We said, speak now in the ears of the people, and let every man borrow his neighbor, every woman of her neighbor, jewels of silver and jewels of gold. This is when they were coming out on the Exodus, when they were in Egypt. So it says, speak now in the ear of the people. So you're going to interlinear. Right. So now you're seeing the difference, right? The number 24. See it here on YouTube and on the Facebook, right? Notion is well, this is in the ancient of Zer or Zen, but you're seeing the outline, air, body parts of the body, air as an organ, right? Subjective to uncover the air, to reveal. Right, so this is given the context in which it's being used. And I'll read it again, and this is Strong's H241, which is pronounced Ozen, Oze. Right, this is part speech of the feminine noun, and they say the root word is H238. So, an outline biblical use in this context is air as body part, air as an organ of hearing, subjective, to reveal, to receive of divine revelation. Right, and have plenty different contexts. So the root word, we just go to the root word. Right, so the root word is azan, which means to hear or to listen. To hear or to listen. So that is where that root word come out from. To orient, to hearken, to hear, and to listen. So in the context what we use in Example 2, when it says speaking to the ears, it basically talk to them so that they will listen. Right? It's azan. Right, which also comes from the different color. Let's make this space a little small, but right. So we have, let's run back through it here. So we have skin, I walk, eyes, a yan, air, a zan. And in the root, it comes from, now this is H in the Strong's, well, in Strong's, but the Blue Letter Bible is number H41 here, and the root word for this, which is air, which is the body part, comes from the root word from 238, which is really the same as an, which means to hear or to listen, right? So azan is to hear or to listen. And it could also use for the word air. So I hope you will have that down. We just change up the script a little bit. So we have these for body parts right now. So now what we'll do, we'll jump into I think I'll probably just do two more, which is legs. So with that now, I just mixed it up a bit. So we had so dive in again. So let's still go through the letter Bible and get. So we have again once more we had the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. We are not affiliated with any religious group or organization. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go through, start away from the body part, and then we'll do some other aspects, which is the common terms that we call each other. For example, you have your father, you have your mother, right? You would have daughter, son. You understand? So all these are stuff that we use on a daily basis, interacting with each other. Right? So you have father, mother, daughter, son. So we're going to deal with those. So we have here father, and the Christians love this, especially in the always say down here, Father God or Father God, as you say in the twang down here. Some areas, some people say, Father God help me. We love to call Father name, or if he is a Catholic, you're quickly calling the father or the priest father. So you're going to take down here now, father, mother, father, mother, and I put statics. Father, mother, a child. So, father in ancient Hebrew is Abba. Right? And we have probably one of the most famous scriptures we say that is Psalm. We say, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. That was Psalm. I think no, that wasn't Psalm. That was actually in Matthew, when Christ was teaching his disciples how to pray. It's Matthew 5. So we have Father, which is Abba. Yeah, that's it. My different colors. You get too jammed up when you're looking at it. So we have Egypt on top. I'll put the Assyrian in the bottom. So that's Abba, which is father. Always remember that we have to put in the connectors. Those connectors are important to get the understanding and the variation of the word and to separate those different makers. Those connectors makes a big, big difference in the language. Right, so Abba. I'm gonna write in the next two first, right? And then we run through the breakdown of each. So we have, so that's father, ma, that's mother, your lad, child, ma, so father, right, so the root etymology, if I'm able to see it properly, it's about H1, right? It means biblical outline is father of an individual or God as father of his people, the head, the founder of a household, group, family, or clan, ancestor. Some other contexts, they may be used grandfather, forefathers, of a people. Right, so that's the root word Abba. So that's Hebrew. Then we have mother, which is pronounced Amma. So you say, well, Amma, a mother, we just say typical Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Most of us don't say mother, we say ma or mommy, you know, and that's how we speak. And this is not really very far from what we do or we say. Amma is mother in the ancient Hebrew. So I'm going to put it up again just to get those contexts. So mother there's a famous scripture that we use. Right, that's in Genesis. So I'm going to put it up here. Genesis 2:24, which has both words in terms of father and mother, which says, therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Right? So let's pull up again the biblical usage. And it's H517. It says pronounced Amma, which is mother. So you have mother, which is pronounced Amma. Amma. Put in the connectors. Then we have child, and child is pronounced Yalad. So again, I'm going to pull it up. So child is pronounced Yalad. Ya, La, and a Da. It's pronounced Yalad. And the root word, or I should say the Strong's number for that is H2056, and it's pronounced Yalad. Right, 2 counts as your root word. Right, pronounced Yala, the root etymology for that word is H3205. Right, and biblical outline is you could use as child, son, offspring, youth, child or children, or descendants. Right, it's pronounced Yalad. So those are the 3 contexts: Abba, father, mother, ma, and child. Now we're going to run through a few more. So son. Right, smaller. And daughter is pronounced Bath or Banat. So we'll go through those here now. One. Right, so we'll take this from this is Genesis 4:17. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch, and he built a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. So let's pull up. Right? Strong's number for that is H1121, which means biblical outline is son, grandson, child, or member of a group, or son or male child. Right, so you see the biblical outline and use. It can also be used for as child, young, or children, according to the context. So that's son, which is ban, not bana, but ban. So in our case, Benjamin, Banyamyan, which means son of the right. Right? Yamyan is right, Ban is son, son of the right. That is Benjamin. That's also called West Indians. Right? That is from like Jamaica, Grenada, Trinidad, some of these smaller islands. Not all the islands are Benjamites. We have like Haiti, which has, and Dominica, which has both Levi and Simeon. Then we have Puerto Rico, so-called Ephraimites, right? Ephraim and Manasseh, if I'm not mistaken. Then we have and we have Puerto Rico. We have Haiti. Those are like the two major ones who are not so-called Benjamites. Now we go on to daughter. So we're going to pull up daughter. Then I get the biblical outline for daughter. A-U-G-T-H-R. Right, so from this one, right, so we're going to have the scripture here, which is Genesis 5 and verse 4. After he had begotten Seth for 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. Right, so the local outline for sons, I said, is H1121, which is Ban, and then daughter is H132. Writes from the root word and etymology from H1129. And in biblical context, online is daughter, girl, daughter-in-law, sister, granddaughter's female child, female cousin. Right? So it's that description. It's pronounced Bath, and the root word is banaf, which means to build. Right? The primitive root word is to build, to rebuild, to establish. So it's banaf. In this case, pronounced Bath or banaf, which is so we will stop here for tonight. So you have son, daughter. Next week we will continue with some more possible body parts. We have to understand what is a woman, man, and get some more understanding of ourselves, one body parts, and how we speak to each other. Also, we might go into some of the common stuff that we use: spoons, pots, utensils, stuff like that. So we want to get into that and be able to put that all together in one piece. So we're gonna get everything together. I also see, we're going to do the announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, New York. General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to marry. So that he must get permission from the head to speak to that particular person. He or she must get permission from the head to speak to that brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 months, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi chapter 3 from verse 8 to 10, which means tenth in the Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, which is free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, we have the memorial blowing of trumpets, which is September the 17th. It's going to be a grand affair. All right, we're going to push it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Come out and enjoy. Come and see how we celebrate our peace. All right, and that is the memorial blowing of trumpets. You can find us in Leviticus chapter 23 from verse 24 to 25. Remind Akim and Aquathium to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he used to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, like shirts, like pants, like headband or scarf.